Hello everybody, welcome to a Gods Unchained match, but before we begin I wanted to mention to everybody that Token Trove now has a pretty cool new feature where you just connect with your MetaMask wallet and it actually adds up the value of all of the cards in your collection. Right now my collection is actually valued at $4,191, which is pretty cool. I know I've definitely bought some cards, but I have not bought anywhere near that many cards. So I've won some and I've just been playing for a while, and sure enough, the value of these cards actually has a legit value, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure this is the airdrop that will occur pretty soon, so this will help to calculate your airdrop value based on your current collection's actual value. So that's pretty cool. Let's jump right into today's game. As to myself, this is me, ranked Ethereal Diamond. I've been nipping at the heels of Mythic for a little while. I'm getting pretty close. The deck that I'm playing is one that I really like. I just swapped out a card. Actually, I just swapped out a little bit there. So this actually only is showing the stats from the most recent games, but just to show you really quick what I'm rolling with. Rolling with 2 Revivifications. This is actually a card that I just swapped in to help potentially deal with Death Soulburn decks. Just a little bit of extra healing could make the difference, maybe. I don't know. This used to be 2 Shield Bearers, but I thought I'd swap that out because honestly, I find myself not even needing them that much. So, Revivification, a couple of Marsh Walkers. I actually just swapped in the Gloam Druid just because, why not? Thought I'd try something a little bit different than my standard deck there, which previously had, I think it was, I can't remember now. Anyway, a couple of Black Jaguars. The Flame Blade, Canopy Barrage is great to help, keep the momentum on your side. Lightning Strike, I would probably have 2 of these instead of Canopy Barrage, if I had to, but I only have 1. I've got 1 Overgrown Rhino in there, and I've actually got a Wildfire. I just swapped that in from my previous deck, again trying to compensate for these higher ranking plays now that I'm playing against mostly Mythic and Ethereal Diamond players. I'm finding certain metas, certain decks occur, and I'm just kind of adjusting my default nature deck there, which is kind of Big Beast's nature standard, to maybe compensate for that. The Avatar of Nature, absolutely love it. Maybe one of the best cards in the game. Great 5/5 stats, and summons a 1/1 walking plant at the end of every turn in the game coming up. This proves to be quite important in the overall flow of the game. Enchanted Vines, I've got 1 of those, and I've got 1 hunt. Now, I had 2 hunts for a while, and I had 1 Enchanted Vines, kind of swapped those around a little bit, but I kind of like both. I don't know which one I like better. The Charging Oryx are just great. Nice big 7/7 stat card that you can drop to either finish a game if there's no other cards on the enemy's board, or potentially finish a game because this can hit face on the drop. But if not, it's just a nice big stat creature that can take out a front line, can take out something random right when you drop it. We'll save the best for last. Of course, the standard Wild Hogs, Skeleton Heavy, Vanguard Axewoman, a couple of Hunt Wardens. I've been playing around with a few different things at level mana 3. Those have included like Magrimmar, Moonhound, and Moonlynx, and some other things. But what I'm finding is just that 4/3, 4 health makes such a big difference, because 3 health is fairly easy to deal with, but 4 health is somehow a decent amount harder. So if you keep your card on the board, and the enemy loses a card, so you've got one more turn out of your card, which is huge in terms of momentum. Helios Battlesworn is actually something I just swapped in as well. There's a few things I swapped in from my previous build here, and of course this is my favorite, the Pious Giant, because this is such a good deck at gathering favor. The Flame Blade is great for gathering favor. It can be great for controlling the deck, but also getting a 3 favor hit on the enemy god. And what we're hoping to work towards here is the Pious Giant. When we drop that with 20 favor, we get +3/+3, making it a 9/9 with a ward, which is huge. You could potentially drop that on turn 5 with a mana bag. And that's just almost undeal withable. It's just such a great card. I really like this card. So that's one of my game enders right there. And then of course, this deck often seems to be good at hanging into mana 9. If the game does draw out, which it doesn't often, but if it does draw out, I've put in Dionysus the Bountiful. I used to also have a overgrown Jotun, but again, I've just sort of swapped things around a little bit to hopefully have better luck against some of the death decks that I've been coming up against. But Dionysus the Bountiful is a game ender. This is my favorite card in the game. It's probably a lot of your favorite cards, but basically an 8/8 big stat card. When you throw it down, it deals 4 damage to each enemy character and then draws 7 random nature cards and sets each of their cost to just 1 mana. It's absolutely ridiculous. The funnest card in the whole game to play. Pretty well. There's a few fun cards, but that is just really fun. Not fun for your opponent. But the great thing about this deck also, and Dionysus, is that you don't have hardly any cards by the time you're around mana 8 and 9, right? So Dionysus and drawing 7 cards, you're totally empty on cards. You need 7, and so that's great to have space available for those 7 cards. All right, let's jump into today's game. So this game was recorded just a few minutes ago, and I thought I would kicking things off. I'm not sure I want to hunt right away. I do like the revivification, but I actually only did that because I didn't pay attention to the god power my opponent was using. Nice pig, skeleton heavy for mana 2, and nice easy way to start the game. If I had paid attention that my opponent was playing Soulless instead of Soulburn, I probably would have gotten rid of the revivification and drawn something else initially, but anyway. My opponent is playing a Zoo and Death card. They are also ranked Ethereal Diamond, right the same as me, and so it's a fairly even matchup as far as evenness goes. Now, that's the thing about Shield Bearer. It's a momentum swinger, right? So he didn't have the momentum, but Shield Bearer gave him the momentum. Now he's got 2 cards on the table, and I'm trying to catch up from behind here. Luckily, I've got a decent play. A nice pig, nice skeleton heavy, with a mana bag. That is a great card for him to play on turn 2, turn 3, whatever it is. What that card will do for him is give Afterlife to one of his cards that will summon a 3/2 experimental outcome every turn, and that card is fairly strong to take down at 4 health. So that's definitely a bit of a problem for me at the moment, especially since he has a card specifically designed to die, and the perfect spot to use it right at my skeleton heavy, which is exactly what he does. Out comes the experimental outcome, and so that's something he can do every round that he has a card to play it on anyway. So we have another Shield Bearer and Vrock. So at this point, I'm seeing a lot of problems on the board. He's got 4 cards. Each of them have very decent stats. I've only got 2 on the table. Both of mine are confused. This is the longest pause that occurs for me in this whole game, as I'm carefully thinking. I'm thinking, So I've got Canopy Barrage. I've got Soulburn. I've got Drain Life. I'm like, how can I deal with this, right? Like, there's not a super great way to do it. If I throw a Canopy Barrage, that could be helpful. And I'm thinking, the random chance of throwing a Canopy Barrage to the right place, maybe. I'm not finding much of a better move at the moment, so I decide to chance it. It doesn't exactly go where I most want it to go, but it's something better than nothing. A little bit of Drain Life actually does go somewhere great, and happily the kitty goes where it's supposed to go and takes out a very problematic card for me at this stage, and I'm actually able to leave him down with just 1 card, which actually went really well for me that turn, or at least as far as coming from behind goes, which is basically a lot of what I'm doing here. So he's got the momentum. He's got a heck of a lot of momentum, and I'm trying just to come from behind. So here, I'm looking at my Avatar of Nature and thinking, that's a nice big stat card to get up. I don't know if it helps me that much. However, I do have this nice revivification, and I could use that to get my health back up. and then maybe pop the Fey Fame Blade, knock out his Axie Woman. It's not fantastic, but you know, it's not terrible. Happily, a Jaguar comes up, which gives me actually a decent play. So a bit of good fortune at that turn, which actually puts us fairly close now on the board. I've got a relic and one card. He's got 2 cards and no relic. Right, so here he drops Avatar of Death, which is a very big card. Suddenly find myself with no cards left on the table, and a difficult recovery to make. Now I'm eyeing up the Ghoul. Since it only does 2 damage, I can take that out of the equation, and now I'm looking at doing just a little bit more damage to bring him into Hunt range, which is perfect. 8 health on the board. Hunt fires absolutely like a dream, and I'm able to kind of balance out the momentum here at just before turn 5.5. And once again, he drops down a huge hand. He's got absolutely no cards left in his hand, but he just drops down all sorts of stats, hidden card to deal with, just all sorts of stuff. So I'm looking around, thinking I've got a few options here. Axie Girl, I initially was thinking, no, because he's hidden. I've done that a bunch of times now. Just stupid. But okay, that's all right. One mistake. We can do what we can do, and that's what we can do. And yeah, it wasn't my smartest turn, but I guess, you know, I come up with an idea at the end there, so it's better than nothing. Yeah, actually, it may have even been better to take out that Banshee, but yep, the pressure was. I was starting to feel the pressure at this point, because yeah, he just keeps playing so many stats, and I'm coming from behind the whole time. I feel like I'm just doing everything I can to keep up or to catch up. Another buff card, another Trell Spirit, Undying Wish on his hidden card, and once again, he's still got 3 mana left, but he's got nothing left to play with it. So he visits the Sanctum, grabs a hooded figure with backline and lots of stats. That could be problematic. And so now I'm wondering what the heck to do here again. Quite a lot of pausing for me in this game. Usually I have a more decisive response, but this Zoo Death deck was pretty challenging. That was where I wanted that to go, obviously. And then an Avatar of Nature, you know, kind of helped keep me in the game a little bit longer with those fantastic little, what are they called? I don't remember. Little healing bugs. I forget what they're called. Walking plants. That's it. Walking plants. And there comes that big 6/3 with backline. Such a problem. So he's got another Undying Wish on one of his cards. I'm down to 10 health, and I'm thinking, you know what? That Wildfire is looking pretty good. I'm also eyeing up the Blitzy Stag in the Sanctum, thinking, I could knock out 1, 2, something, 3. It's not going to be quite enough, or is it? And yeah, I think the problem there was because his card had a what's it called, Soulless on it. I still can't get through to that backline flanking hidden card. Not that I could anyway, because it's hidden at the moment. But yeah, no, I'm kind of stumped here. As you can see, I'm like, do I do this? Do I do this? I don't love any of my options. Okay, you know what? Wildfire. You know why? Because Wildfire will hopefully get a burn on his flank. Gets a burn on his flank, he can use it 1 turn. And if I get lucky, maybe I'll hit it with the Life Drain, which I did not. But, you know, at least he's got a lot less on the board at this point. And I will get another walking plant at the end of this turn to help keep my health up. So I've got a good amount of favor here, and I'm eyeing up the Blitzy Stag in the Sanctum at this point, thinking that could be something that definitely helps me. He puts out his Undying Wish and hits me in the face. I'm thinking he's trying to blitz me down here, and he's thinking maybe I'm going to trade, or he wants to keep his flank alive one more turn, which is actually a decent play. You know, keep that hidden flank alive one more turn, and yet again he's just loaded up the board with protection for that backline flank. And so now I think it's finally time for the Twin Horn Rider, the little blitz, little blitziness. How best to play it, that's what I'm thinking here. Since it cannot hit face on the first turn, obviously it's going to be another creature. It doesn't really matter which, one or the other. Can't hit the backline yet. But actually, do miss that because I was aiming for his face. But unfortunately, since the creature got confused by Wildfire, it did not quite do what I wanted it to do. Once again, he's going for the face. He's hoping to finish me off here. He's definitely had the momentum the whole game. He's definitely had a lot of big plays that I've just barely been able to keep up with. But he's all out of cards too, so that's a bit of a problem. Nice thing about this nature deck is that it really has so many answers for so many circumstances, and it's very rare that you find yourself in a bad card situation without some sort of answer. So happily the Wildfire does take down his hidden backline flank there. He's still got a decent amount of damage on the board, but I've got a Twin Strike, and I've got Avatar of Nature, and I've got a bunch of good stuff here. So I'm going to start out by doing some damage to his face. I did actually forget that there was a and I also did forget that my creature was confused here, or else I might not have done that. But, well, I guess that's how that turn worked out. So I'm eyeing up Juggernaut in the Sanctum. I'm eyeing up the Doom Caller. Got quite a bit of mana here, but actually I've got a Life Drain, and Axie Girl, and Marshwalker, and a few good options here to clear his board. He's got nothing left in his hand, so I can get a bit of an advantage here by throwing out some light cards and removing what he's got from the table. And yeah, he's just got one card to play at this point. So now finally the momentum is finally shifted. He's got a Bombfly, which is not going to do a heck of a lot. A Lightning Strike, don't need it. And why not? Time to buy the Doom Caller. This is looking very good for me now, but yeah, well, you know, you never know. You never know what card's going to come up next. Could be a Trial of the Underworld or something huge, right? So he's just struggling here with whatever he top decks. It's pretty much game over at this point. I think he knows it. I think we both know it. Yeah. So at this point, he has absolutely no cards in his hand. He's got nothing left to do. So at this point, we're thinking, is it time for my turn at the moment? I don't know. Is it my turn? Or what you got? Is something left to do there, buddy? Something left to do? No. Now here's the thing about Gods Unchained. This is an emotional game. It's funny how emotional a card game can get. Because what he's doing right now is he's just roping me. He's wasting my time. I feel like his name kind of does him justice at this point, because he's kind of poor sporting it a bit. But honestly, I think I've done it from time to time. We've probably all done it from time to time. This game was very much his in a lot of situations, and I just kind of barely came back from it a bunch. And yeah, rope your opponent and then concede before he can deliver that killing blow. That's it's the way it happens. Anyway, that's this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. No hard feelings there, butthurt. I've done it too. We've all done it.